When we think of building community, we often think of involving those in our own geographical or topical spaces. However, partnering with outside volunteer groups for a range of a week to a few months can help you build community and address community needs by creating or expanding partnerships within your own community and building advocates for the social issues you're trying to address, in addition to completing a few projects of your own. My name is Alana Svensson-Holtz, and I'm an Assistant Program Director with AmeriCorps NCCC. AmeriCorps NCCC is one of many AmeriCorps programs, but rather than granting funds for organizations to host their own AmeriCorps programs or members, we send out teams of 18 to 24-year-olds to be the people power behind a project that will meet a critical need of the community. AmeriCorps NCCC is not the only outside group you can have come to volunteer in your community. Collegiate alternative spring break groups or faith-based missions are always looking for opportunities to serve in other communities. For the purpose of today's presentation, I'm going to use AmeriCorps NCCC as a model to highlight benefits that organizations have gained from hosting these types of groups. Let's start by hearing from Katri Gurney, Field Director of Trails and Access with Squam Lakes Association in Holderness, New Hampshire, about how she dove into this world. In early 2020, Katri was exploring different methods for tackling 2 trail building projects. Even after speaking with local partners, they lacked the capacity to execute these projects. Her executive director suggested that she look into AmeriCorps NCCC. In her words, "It seemed daunting to supervise an 8 to 12 member crew of young adults with varying experience levels, working on trails in the woods for 2 months. But I pressed forward. Hosting an NCCC crew looked like a wonderful opportunity to accomplish these large projects while also providing young professionals with hands-on experience in the environmental conservation field." Similar to Katri, many people find the idea of bringing a team of people in to support their mission a daunting undertaking, and thus never explore the opportunity completely. However, Dan with Living Lands and Waters tries to look at it differently.
I would say break down your process, break down your goals. Figure out exactly what you want to accomplish, because yeah, it might look like you're getting 10 interns and now you have to manage 10 more people, but really you're working with the team leader, and then you have this enormous support behind that team leader to accomplish a lot of things. So I don't look at it as a bad thing that I had to put extra time into figuring out and planning all of these different things for the individuals to do, because I looked at it as like, at the end of this term, I'll be able to accomplish so much more with their help than I would otherwise.
In a moment, I'm going to have you pause the recording while you brainstorm projects that you currently have in place, in the planning phases or on the wish list that could benefit from the help of a team of volunteers. When brainstorming, keep in mind these benefits we often hear from people that bring in outside groups to help with projects. Larger projects are accomplished in less time than relying on local resources. This group can focus their attention on a project longer than an episodic volunteer, thus can tackle larger projects and projects that take more of a training commitment on your end. And seeing people from outside the community invest in a project often infuses new energy into a project and encourages locals to be more involved. We're going to revisit your brainstorm shortly, so keep it handy. To bring in this type of group, admittedly, isn't easy and often requires coordination of various factors to include site supervision, work plans, learning opportunities, and housing. In the next video, past NCCC sponsor Jessica Roca, Tourism Director for Kimball County, Nebraska, shares advice for reaching out to others to help with these components.
We have a very small community of about 2,500 people in Kimball itself, and everybody knows everybody and everybody knows everybody's business. So they all knew that AmeriCorps was there. We had an outpouring of people in the community who were just so excited to see a group like this come in and wanted to learn about what they do and about the program itself. Just really try to bring the community in together. I think that was a big thing for us as well. Like I said, our community welcomed them in with open arms, and that was fantastic. And they were able to assist us with different things that we didn't even know that we were going to need help with. So definitely reach out to anybody. Don't think you have to figure everything out on your own. everybody is always willing to help with something.
Many organizations find that coordinating all the logistics required to bring in a group opens doors for them to be able to reach out to others in their community who they may not already partner with, to learn more about their mission and ways they're able to support each other. A couple examples include the following. Consider the urban farm that didn't feel they had enough inclement weather work for a team, so they were looking to create a partnership with another organization for the team to serve with during these times in order to maximize the team's service while in their community. They ended up partnering with the local Veterans Administration Clinic, who needed some inventorying completed. And after meeting, the 2 points of contact discovered a passion for each other's mission and later went on to have veterans from the clinic volunteer out at the farm on a regular basis. This helped both organizations by furthering progress at the farm and giving veterans a place to continue to give back. Another example is a camp that was completing habitat restoration and removing non-native species and had brought in an NCCC team to assist. In hopes of creating sustainability for the project through local community buy-in, the team and camp planned a volunteer day. As part of volunteer recruitment, the team reached out to the local community college to invite them to attend, which a few students did. Seeing the dedication that an outside group had to this project helped open the students' eyes to what was happening within their own community. The camp and the local community college ended up creating a partnership where environmental students continued to come out and serve on the camp's habitat restoration project long after AmeriCorps NCCC had departed. Projects that have the dedication of an outside group often bring a new excitement that inspires people to want to be involved. Take a moment to look back at your list of projects that you had brainstormed previously. Now set your timer for a couple minutes and brainstorm resources in your community that may have something to help you bring in an outside group to meet one or more of those needs. That could be a location that has a housing like a camp, a church, a park with cabins, or an organization that works with housing. It could be an organization that would have indoor work that could be completed during inclement weather. Or it could be an organization in your field that you don't already partner with, or an organization that works on another phase of the social issue that you're addressing. For example, if you're an affordable housing organization, are there other challenges your clients face, such as food insecurity? Or could you partner with an organization that provides temporary shelter or works with those who are homeless? Bringing in an outside group would give you an opportunity to open up the lines of communication with them. Bringing in a team is not only beneficial for you, but also for the team that is serving on the project. Here's a short video about a project to illustrate my point.
Hi, I'm Sarah Gallagher and I work with FLOW, Friends of the Lower Olentangy Watershed. FLOW works on the conservation of the Lower Olentangy Watershed, which is in Delaware County and Franklin County. We do trash cleanups, sapling plantings, all different sorts of conservation work. The AmeriCorps NCCC team is here helping out FLOW and other partners that we're working with for our green space plan that is helping out with the conservation of the Lower Olentangy Watershed and the tributaries that flow to it.
Alright, so here in Delaware County, we're working with a lot of different sponsors, so that leads to a lot of different tasks we'll be doing. We've been doing a lot of honeysuckle removal, winter creeper removal, garlic mustard removal, so a lot of invasive work, but as well as working here on the farm, planting, tilling fields, cleaning fields, as well as the Stratford Ecological Center, mostly the same work. Our team has been super successful, blowing the expectations of our sponsors out of the park. We get into an area, we get super focused, just plow through fields of honeysuckle, absolutely devastating these invasives. So it's definitely speaking to the efficiency of our team. So the team has benefited by gaining tons of knowledge about the local flora and fauna, such as trees, bushes, shrubs, different types of plants, as well as how everything's working together in this ecology with the toxicity levels of the olentangy, the microinvertebrates that live in it, things that eat the microinvertebrates, and just how everything is working together and affecting the surrounding landscape. So we've definitely benefited by gaining tons of knowledge.
This team gained a lot of knowledge within the environmental field and became advocates for environmental conservation. We've seen this in all different types of service areas, from people who previously had limited knowledge on food insecurity and were able to see the valuable service a food bank provides, people who became animal advocates after spending a few weeks working in a wildlife sanctuary, and people who have seen the value a camp experience can provide and now want to work at one. By teaching these outside groups about the social issues that you are addressing within your community, they are able to take that knowledge to help further that cause by becoming an advocate. Oftentimes, they take this knowledge back to their home communities where they become involved with similar causes there. And because many of these outside groups tend to be youth or young adults, they are often exploring what direction life will take them in, and these experiences could set them on a new career path or a new place to call home. This can be a way for you to train and instill a passion in the future leaders of your career space. So checking back in on Katri, she goes on to share, hosting an NCCC crew enabled the SLA to tackle projects and tasks that had been sitting on the to-do list for years, and all of it was accomplished during a pandemic. Introducing Cedar 4 to environmental conservation in the Squam watershed was just as rewarding as completing the projects. The SLA is now applying to host an NCCC crew annually so we can continue impactful work on our trail networks and in the watershed while engaging with young professionals. There's something exciting about having an outside group come and be a part of your mission. They bring a new energy and perspective into the project, which may help you look at it in a new light. Take a moment, pull out your schedule, and make an appointment with yourself, or add to your next strategic planning meeting agenda to further flesh out this brainstorm and truly explore whether an outside volunteer group could help you build community. No, seriously, pull out the schedule and make that appointment, because we're all busy, and if you don't set the time aside now, it may just be another thing that you've added to your wish list to get to one day. By including outside volunteer groups into your projects, you'll be able to create new partnerships, even within your own geographical area that you may not have previously explored, or expand existing partnerships. Further spread the word about social issues you're addressing, thus helping us build more community in that topical space. Gain a new perspective by collaborating with others outside of your own space. All the while, the outside volunteers will bring larger projects that have been on your wish list to fruition. They'll become advocates for your cause, and they'll learn about your community. Throughout this presentation, I shared a little bit about Katri Gurney's experience with AmeriCorps NCCC. And if you'd like to learn more about that, she has an article that she wrote on Volunteer New Hampshire's webpage, and I've included that website on the screen now, and you're welcome. I invite you to go and take a look at it. My contact information is also on the screen. If you have any questions or would like to discuss this topic further, I'd be happy to do so. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.